Alright, so, this video is going to be about something that is very, very tough. It's something that a lot of people go through, but not very many people are willing to admit it. It's something that affects a lot of people that feel like they are of a smaller minority. They feel like an outcast, maybe the black sheep of the family, stuff like that. It's something that greatly affects the LGBT community, but specifically the transgender community. And that is suicide and self-harming. Basically, it's really hard growing up and not liking your body, and like you get to a point sometimes where you actually hate yourself, and especially if you don't understand why, like it's so much harder, and it's very hard. It's very hard going through life not understanding why you don't like yourself, not understanding why everything is changing, and why you feel the way you do. It's very rough and it's very hard. There's some people that can't handle it. In our community, we make up about 3% of the population of the United States. That might sound like a lot, but it's really not. It's really not at all. The majority of that population is male to female. That has been recorded, at least, because female to males, once they transition, they don't tend to come out anymore as transgender. They prefer a lot of times to just stay in the down low and just not like be low key and not let it be known and everything. So a lot of the population that has actually been accounted for is the male to females because of that. But like with the bottom surgery that female to males have, there's a 50% chance that you could lose all feeling down there, and out of that, if you do lose all feeling down there, there's a 75% chance that out of those people, there's 75% of them that end up committing suicide, and that's something that's very real. It's very tough to think about. Quite honestly, I don't want bottom surgery. The chances of me like losing feeling aren't too well, and the outcome of what it looks like isn't the greatest, so I just prefer not to do it. Plus, like, I'd rather not have to go through with that and not have to deal with that in case I did lose feeling. I mean, I can't imagine what that would be like. I mean, you go your whole life expecting your body to be one way, and then it's not. And you have to deal with gender incongruency, where your brain is a different gender than your body is. You have to deal with that until you decide to change it, or even if you don't decide to change it, you have to deal with it until you die. And then you finally decide to change it, and you expect it to finally be okay, and then it's not. You know, you get this surgery that you're supposed to like change, and you're supposed to be feeling great and everything. You just spend a whole bunch of money because your insurance doesn't cover it and everything. You took off from work, and I mean, it just doesn't work, and I mean, that would be devastating. I can't even imagine, and I wouldn't want to go through it, so I'm just not going to. There's a lot of transgender people that will cut around the areas that they don't like female to males. They might cut around their chest area because they're trying to cut off their chest, or that's the part that they don't like, so they just try to harm it and try to get it off. Also, the genital area, male to females tend to try to go after that, and sometimes female to males do as well. It's very tough. It's very tough whenever you have a part on your body that you feel like shouldn't be there. Sometimes it can be so hard that people want to go to the extreme and want to get it off themselves because they don't have any other way to get it off. They can't pay for the surgery, they can't go through with it, and stuff like that. So, I mean, there's people that go to the extreme. Personally, I never cut around those areas. I never really wanted to, plus it's gonna sound so bad, but it's easier to be seen, like, at least for me, because, like, I don't know, I could easily explain like a cut or a scrape or something and burn on my arm, but like if it was on my chest, that'd be a little bit harder to explain to my parents. Whenever I was in 6th grade, I was basically whenever it all started. I started self-harming, and I tried to cut, but it just wasn't enough pain. And I tried it maybe once or twice, and that was it. And it just wasn't enough. And I actually ended up going to a church camp and found a way to chemically burn myself with salt and ice. Basically, the salt makes the ice melt faster, and it causes a chemical reaction, which causes a chemical burn on your skin. I'm not going to tell you how to do it. I prefer not to because I don't want other people to use it. But I started doing that whenever I was in 6th grade. It didn't stop until I was like mid-8th grade, so for about a year, well, 2.5 years. And I haven't done it since. I've been sober for like 9 years now, almost 10. And it's very hard. It's a very tough road. I've had to go through a whole bunch to like get over it. I haven't gone to counseling. I never wanted anybody to know, so I never told anybody until like once I was older. You can get through it without counseling. I did, but I don't necessarily recommend it. I mean, it is hard, especially whenever you're depressed and you have like all the stuff bottled up inside of you and you're trying to get over it by yourself. It's very tough. Basically for me, I figured out a different way to deal with it. I write poetry whenever I'm really super upset, and that tends to help me a lot. That's my escape from everything, and it's something constructive instead of destructive to my body. And that's basically what you have to do. You have to find something that will work for you, that will make it to where you don't cut, or you don't self-harm, or you don't have suicidal thoughts. Just living one more day, you can get better. It does get better. The longer you go without doing something like that, the easier it is to tell yourself not to do it. Because like, think about, for me, for instance, like, it's been almost 10 years, so I think about that every time. I'm like, look, it's been so long since I last did it. Look how strong I've been. I can do it one more day. I can do it one more day. It's no big deal, just one more day. And then like you keep telling yourself one more day, and one more day. It really does get better. Like, you really can get through it. And there's people like the Trevor Project that you can always call. But yeah. Anyways, that's something that's very big in the transgender community, and it's something that's very real for a lot of people, even the people that aren't in the trans community. But it is something that we do have to face, and it is something that definitely does happen in our community. But yeah, if you ever need some resources, I'm going to put some down at the bottom of this video for you guys. Check them out, and seriously, like, look into them if you're contemplating anything, and try to find somebody that you can trust, like a good friend of yours, or somebody that you look up to, you can trust, and like tell them things so they can help you through it, because it's so much easier whenever they help you through it. But yeah, it does get better, and I hope you guys are doing alright. Hopefully this video wasn't too saddening to you. But yeah, I hope you guys are doing alright, and peace out.